flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's have a moment of silent prayer, not only for our country, but for our council members. Amen. Okay, is the 25th, Tuesday the 25th, 5:30 evening. We're at the Town of Bath Municipal Center. Can I have the roll call, please?
Scott Murphy.
Here.
Susan Webster's here. Elizabeth Skinner. Here. Mary Lynn Hickey. Here. Rebecca McLeod. Greg Sheen.
Here.
And Tom Hall.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we need to review the minutes from our council meeting on July 11th. I didn't see anything that needed to be changed, but I'll take any corrections or additions and a common consent if everything looks good. Everybody good? Good? All right, common consent. All right. Okay, we're going to move forward. We don't have any persons that have signed up to talk to us, so we're going to move forward with communications from mayor. Our next meeting, because of the way the 4th fell, we ended up having our first meeting this month on the 11th and turned around, went 2 weeks to the 25th. So rather than going just 1 week in space, we moved our August meetings to the 8th and the 22nd. And then after that, starting in September, we will go back to our normal schedule, which is the 1st and 3rd Tuesday of the month. So just make a notation on your calendar for that. We're going to have the Morgan County Expo on the 29th of this month. So just keep that, in your your mind on what needs to be and what's coming to the town. We have a request for the use of Liberty Street by the Cub Scouts Pack 81 for apple butter parking. So, council, we have a copy in our paperwork here of that application. As everybody knows, or maybe some people don't know, every year the Boy Scouts use that Liberty Street parking that weekend of Apple Butter Festival. We've always let them do that as long as I can remember. That has happened, but they are just asking for our approval. So,
I make a motion that we approve the application for the Boy Scouts to Pack 81 to use Liberty Street for parking at the Apple Butter Festival.
Second.
all right, I have a motion and a second to let the Pack 81 Boy Scouts use Liberty Street lot for parking cars at the Apple Butter Festival. Is there any discussion? Call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. That's taken care of. So let's send a letter or whatever out to them, letting them know. Okay. Next thing on my list is the request for the use of the train depot lot for a food truck festival and grand opening on 11/11 of 23 from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. All right, so we have a request to be able to use this. That's the day that we're going to be doing the basically the dedication, I guess, for the depot itself.
We're working out some details on that. I hope to be able to put together some type of celebration for that. That is Veterans Day, so the Legion always has their celebration, which is good. If we can have some kind of program, maybe when the Legion is finished with theirs, because they shoot rifles, they do, the whole thing, and get the thing started at 11 o'clock and sometime maybe 1-ish, something like that. Have some kind of ceremony, grand opening for it. And I have been approached on this, and they're good enough to want to help put this together. And golly days, people don't just put events together for you anymore. So I'm in favor of it, and we'll make a motion to approve this facilities use application.
Second.
Alright. I have a motion and a second on the floor to allow a food truck festival and the grand opening of our depot on our depot lot. Any more discussion? Call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? What?
Who is, if you said it, I didn't hear you. Who's requesting for the food truck festival?
Deb Colbert, she's
the-
here this evening. She's the one that filled out the application,
Right.
correct?
They're the ones that have the real cheese
Porcellos
and all
Okay.
that.
and Chris, he owns 301.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah. Thank you all for doing that. Yeah, Larry?
Hey, Mr. Mayor, I just asked as we advertise that, which I think is a great event. Remember the Knights of Columbus at 10:30 that same day, we'll be doing the reclaim ceremony at our monuments. So I think that can all tie together as a very good
Yeah.
patriotic day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
At 10:30, Larry.
Yes, it is.
10:30.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, all right. Now, we also have had some people come forward that are wanting to put a new monument up in the Fairfax Green down there. We have a memo here concerning that. They want to put basically a memorial up from what I can get from the C-130 crash that we had, the airplane that went in out on Fairview Drive, my God, 25 years ago, 25 years ago,
1989.
1989.
Was it that long?
90?
Yeah, they had 6 airmen that were in that. The plane literally came in inverted and went in and killed them and crashed right out off of Fairview Drive. I know I was fighting fire. So they want to see about putting some type of memorial up. I don't know if there's any of our.
Well, I'm in favor of it. I'm happy about it and like that, and particularly if they want to also do something with a Korean War veteran. I know a lot of Korean War veterans. But if you recall, when the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, when all that discussion and research was going on, it came to light that the Fairfax Green is actually in the right-of-way of the DOH, the state of West Virginia, rather than the town of Bath. We maintain it along with Foxglove Garden Club. Everybody does a good job. It's our water on there. We cut the grass, Foxglove flowers, decorating, and all like that. So it's a community. But literally, what goes on there, we found out, is up to the DOH. Unless anything has changed on that I don't know about, I believe.
I think that's where they originally started with the Vietnam Memorial. They had to go to the DOH, get their consent, and then we set up a committee. I think there's some people on the tree board, and they met
Fox
with,
Club certainly needs to be.
I
right,
mean, that's one of their
Right.
premier garden spaces when you're
So-
coming into town.
so-
And there is still an open space on one of the monuments, a World War II monument.
What Foxglove says is you build it, we'll plant flowers around it. They don't care.
So-
Well-
they're-
like I said, I think what we're gonna have to do is refer this back.
Allow them the courtesy of
Right.
talking.
I think we need to refer this back to the people that are wanting to do this, refer it back to them. As long as they get the blessing of DOH, then I guess we'll have to set up a committee to meet with the people, all the entities that are involved, like we did with the Vietnam veterans. to decide what's going on, but they're gonna have to go back. I'd love to say yes, put it up tomorrow, but it's in the right of way of the DOH, and we have to have their consent. If we don't have that, they have the right to tear it down. I don't want that to happen. So, like I said, I'm all for it. I think it's a good idea. I mean, that was a really bad day. When that happened, when those airmen got killed. So let's refer that back to them and let them know to contact DOH, and we'll go from there. So, all right. This is the point. I don't know if council, I put on here possible executive session. I don't know if the council still would like to do that. Wanted the information to look at it, so it was comfortable. So, do you all want to? It's a matter that's happened. I don't know if we need to bring all council members up to speed.
Well, maybe just to do that, very quickly, because I think that, any further discussion
Would be
should be more appropriate with,
our attorney.
our attorney present.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I'll ask for somebody to make a
Motion to
motion.
go into executive session.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Do we have to say what for?
No, we don't have to. Yeah. All right, I have a motion, a second on the floor to go into an executive session for a short session with just the council members. We're going to retire up to the chief's office upstairs, where we can sit around a round table. We will be back shortly, people. So you got the time. Everybody seated? All right. I would entertain a motion to come out of executive session.
Second.
I can't make a motion.
You made the
Oh,
motion.
I'll make a motion to come out of executive session.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Just let everybody know that there's no decisions made in our executive session. We discussed a matter that needed to be addressed. It's a kind of a private matter. So anyway, I will call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Okay, we're back into regular session. All right. We will continue with our meeting now. We'll move on to the Bath Development Authority. Their next meeting is August 2nd at 4:30 at the courthouse. She's not here. Yes, she did. All right, Parks and Recs. Planning Commission.
Good evening. So our next meeting is scheduled for the 3rd of August. We'll be meeting with the Water Committee to talk current comprehensive plan tasks and the future that need to be addressed within the next comprehensive plan. And as a side note, I was with Troop 1532 of the Boy Scouts of America here last Thursday, where they did 2 hours of service project cleaning down the depot parking lot, down Washington Street, Fairfax, and all the way up Wilkes. And we collected 3 industrial-sized garbage bags, just a little good work. So try and do our part to keep our community strong.
Thanks. Thank them for that good work.
We'll do, Mr. Mayor.
All right, any questions for Larry?
Larry, will you send me what you just said, email it to me or whatever?
The Boy Scouts?
I missed about half of it, so.
We'll do.
Okay, moving on, Rails Trails.
Normally we'd have a meeting tomorrow. I can't see the need for it, so I put out something that gave an update, and there's not gonna be a meeting. I sent you all.
Could you speak up just?
I sent you all this morning, so
Yes.
something will be that. Basically, I can't get a date out of DOH as to when they're gonna put this thing in school. So I don't know if you got a date when you went and talked to the secretary, but right now it's still. The other thing is, we were gonna have Jeff here today to introduce you. I think that's on the agenda. And unfortunately, decided it was better for him not to come and get the rest of us sick. So we'll do it on the 8th.
Okay.
That's okay. He's gonna be a valuable new member of the Streetscape because he's got all the kind of experience.
Mr. Duvall.
Yeah, Jeff Duvall. And all that kind of experience, and I think we're gonna start seeing some new ideas in the lives, which is a good time. The other big one, and that's the state park. DOH is working on making the award. They have everything they need, they told me, and they gotta go through a lot of hoops. It has been extended to August 8th, and they plan to meet that date. And I think we've done everything we can to get that
Yes.
arranged. Susan, I'm gonna redo the thank you letters.
Okay.
All right, because I know a lot more now. I propose not to give them to Mayor, to you guys to sign until we actually have a contract.
That's right.
Seems like a good
And we
idea.
have the money.
Yeah, we have most of it.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
All right.
Any questions?
Any questions for him on rails and trails or streetscape or anything?
Thank you for the very helpful summary you sent today.
Yeah, I do that for you all. Since there's a lot going on, I'll probably do it every session. It'll be sort of just in time. That's the way I do things. But I mean, I hope to have a lot more progress than hoped for progress.
Good deal. Thank you. All right, train depot?
Well, I called Region 9 and have gotten an email back from them, have been able to answer. You know, they were in town and Larry was good enough to meet with them with other members of the planning commission. And Region 9 came on June the 26th to go through the depot and other things in Logan County that they may help with. They do have some ideas of grants and different programs that the depot may be able to get involved in and they can help with, which I certainly will let you all know when we come to some kind of decision. Its use is important, what they want to know what it's going to be used for. And so that's moving along and we're going to have an event there and I hope it's, one of many to come and I think it will be. I think that's all that I have for the depot.
All right. Landmarks Commission, they're not here tonight to give us a report. Their next meeting is August 4th at 2 p.m. So will you put that so that I remember that I need to go to that meeting? All right. Clerk and Recorder's report. Madam Clerk, do you have anything?
You have 2 budget revisions in your package. They are the yearly ones to bring the beginning balance for the FY24 fiscal year in line with the end of FY23. So I just need a resolution with a yay or nay on whether those will be acceptable or not.
For resolution 2023-0701 for the first resolution for the budget revision as recommended by the Finance Committee. Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All right. I have a motion and a second on the floor to for a budget revision, resolution 2023-0701. Do we have any discussion? This is barely a formality because we have to do this at the end of the year so that our budget balances and everything to the state is balanced to the state. So, and if there are any questions, I'm sure that Sharon can answer it. If not, I am going to ask for each member of council to say yes, you're in favor, or no, you're not. Myself is a yes. Susan?
Yes. That's
Liz?
Skinner.
Yes.
Yep. Elizabeth? Mary?
Yes.
Rebecca?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Okay, so we've got all yeses on that one there. So that one will pass and be sent up to the state.
Okay, the next resolution is another budget revision to go into the auditor's office. It's, the resolution for it is 2023-07-02. It is being, my motion is that it is a recommended resolution by the Finance Committee.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, second. I have a motion, second on the floor, to, do a budget revision, resolution 2023-07-02. Any discussion? Call the question. Everybody's got to do it individually. Myself, yes. Susan,
Yes?
Elizabeth,
Yes.
Mary,
Yes.
Rebecca,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
All right. That passes.
Thank you.
The only other thing I wanted to bring up over the quarter, and I sent this out to you guys, I did get a response from the company that owns and manages the post office, and they're supposed to have the work completed by the 31st of this month. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I did see workers down there, so that repair of the post office is underway. I don't know if they'll make that date, but at least they know we care, and, they're on the job, so.
Good deal. All right. We'll move on to finance.
Okay. Finance Committee is bringing forward bills this evening. We have, I make a motion that we accept the Town of Bath bills in the amount of $26,524.08.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor to pay the Town of Bath bills in the amount of $26,524.08. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion passes.
I make a motion that we approve the Berkeley Springs Water Works in the amount of $62,844.75.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to pay the Berkeley Springs Waterworks bills in the amount of $62,844.75. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that motion carries.
Make a motion that we approve the Greenway Cemetery bills in the amount of $3,600.
Second.
I have a motion and a second on the floor to pay the Greenway Cemetery bills in the amount of $3,600. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that motion carries.
Make a motion that we pay the Train Depot bills in the amount of $17,048.83. This is the last payment to the construction company.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor to pay the Train Depot bills in the amount of $17,048.83. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
Make a motion that we pay the hotel motel disbursements in the amount of $26,188.90.
$26,188.90. Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor. All those, is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. All right. We have paid the bills. Tree board.
We will be doing training tomorrow at 4:00 for the new Arborscape tree inventory. That will allow us to access the information about each tree online. We anticipate taking care of the trees that pose the most problems first. So that'll give us the key to see which ones. And once we have that, we'll be walking around and identifying those so that our next grant would probably try to start working on those. These would be trees that would possibly fall and injure somebody. So we're looking forward to the tree.
This is the training. Arborscape
That's
program.
what, yeah. For the tree inventory that was just completed.
Where do you plan to meet, Rebecca?
We are gonna Zoom each one of us so that we have access on our own laptops.
Oh, okay, okay. So it'll be laptop Zoom.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Did you get an invitation?
Excuse me?
Did you get an invitation from,
No, I did not.
well, I'll make sure you get one.
Would you please? Thank you, thank you. I'd very much like to do that. Thank you.
Good deal. Grant?
Grants Committee had our first meeting the week before last. We did an overview of all the grants that are currently in play, all the grants that are in the pipeline, and then a brief discussion about aligning future grant opportunities with the town's, essentially the strategic plan, to the town's best benefit. So we're just gearing up, getting our sea legs in terms of new things, but all the grants that are in play are already doing lots of good things.
Any questions for Mary? Okay. All right, public safety, we met this evening at 4:30. Had a good discussion with the chief and the administrator upstairs. We are going to be moving our meeting to the second Wednesday of the month at 4 o'clock. Because we feel that we need a little bit more time of discussion with our chief and our administrator on stuff that needs to be implemented or stuff that we need to talk about. So that meeting, make a notation, is going to change. Second Wednesday of the month, 4 o'clock. Chief, I'll let you elaborate on anything that you need to. We talked about meters and stuff like that, but we also talked about other stuff. So I'll let you have the floor and anything you want to elaborate on.
So the other thing we spoke about was a new background packet that the police department is looking to implement. That's for any kind of future police officers, employees of the police department. It's a very extensive background that I think that will help us move forward with finding the right folks should we have vacancies. The other thing is we had a radio that was donated to us by Loudoun County, Virginia. Those radios that we use are very costly. That was a donation to our department for the use of our parking enforcement officer, because currently she does not have any communication with our 911 center. And that's about
it.
That's about all I have.
Yeah. So we're working real hard. Our chief here has really done a lot in the last 4, 5, 6 months, 4 or 5 months. And I really appreciate him. And, I think a few of the people that were sitting in on the meeting got the impression that we're moving along and everything. So they were really happy with things going on. So, all right, let's move on to cemetery.
Two things. First, I would like to let the council know that the county commissioners awarded $12,000 to the Town of Bath Cemetery Maintenance Incorporated to help with work in Greenway Cemetery. The second thing is the cemetery committee is meeting tomorrow here at 9 a.m. And we are meeting with Pete Brown and Bill Miller and one other gentleman, I believe, to help us move forward on making some decisions about repairs on the mausoleum. So that project is moving along very well. That's all I have.
All right.
Tom Miller. And I believe I thought he said he might be bringing another person, but we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember now. I've been to so many meetings. Was there somebody else?
Not that I.
Oh, okay, all right. For some reason I was thinking,
Tommy.
okay,
Jeff Gola from Thrasher
All right.
just returned from.
all right, that's,
Not a good time to have.
okay, all right, very
Good
good.
deal. Public Works.
We had a minor leak from the garbage truck, and I would like to commend the staff for their quick response to it. It was too small to be a reportable incident, but it's cleaned up now. And from the landfill incident, we had to get couple of new tires and a rim. And the other thing that the Public Works is doing is looking for a place for all the bricks that we have in storage at the depot lot. We need to keep the yellow brick to be used here in town somewhere, because that was our agreement with the State Historic Preservation Office. But we also have some additional pavers from leftover streetscape jobs. And we have red brick that was removed from the borders from old streetscape projects. So we have quite a bit there.
Rebecca, can that be used as fill?
I think it's too good to be used
Yeah,
as fill.
what was there that was, we were mandated to keep X amount of,
Oh, okay, okay.
X amount of bricks off of the street that was taken up, and everything. So that, all that's down there is what we were mandated by the state to keep.
The yellow brick.
The yellow brick. The red brick, I basically, I don't think they were too worried about it, but some of it's in pretty good shape, that,
Yeah.
you know.
And there's
Can
other
make
possibilities that
pathways.
we haven't explored yet in terms of how we might either.
Have we looked at Meyer Street?
That's probably where,
If we're gonna use the yellow brick, we don't want it to go too far away. I mean, the ideal would be if we could use it for the trail head, for some of the
Okay.
features that
That's a
we're
good-
incorporating there. We've got some ideas.
That's a great one.
The red brick, I don't know.
yeah. Okay, well, we'll keep exploring the material. Sharon, will you send me, the fellow's name up there at the, where we're going? Because I want to speak about that incident with the tires, because I need to speak to him
Yes.
about that. So send that to, because, you know, there's a reason that we're going up there. So, just to let council know, we no longer are going to the Hedgesville landfill because we were cutting tires almost every time we went down there. And we're going to Pennsylvania, where we can actually pull in on a concrete slab and dump. But evidently there must have been some nails that were on that concrete. We picked them up, unfortunately. So I want to speak with that gentleman up there because there's a reason that we switched, so that we weren't cutting tires and replacing tires every time we route. So anyway, we're moving on. Ordinance.
Ordinance, we are reviewing our updated HR personnel policy for the town of Bath. Special thank you to Mary for assisting with that. And we are also revisiting our existing ordinance moving forward.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Greg. Waterworks.
Had a very interesting first meeting and look forward to working with Ron and his replacement. Looking forward to some increased accountability to our water and our water level in the tanks that are around that we use as supply for the community, and have a better handle on what we actually are producing each day. Got good folks working down there, and I'm pleased to be a part of that group. So the next meeting will be exciting. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. All right, come to this point. Is there anything that council members need to address before I open it up to people that may be sitting in the audience? Have we addressed everything, any concerns or anything? If not, I will open up the floor to anybody that needs to speak to us. You get 3 minutes, and then we'll go from there.
3 minutes per issue, or?
3 minutes. 3 minutes.
I can do it in 3.
All right.
Is it possible, at one point in time, the police department posted in the paper, you know, the arrests or whatever else they were doing, so that people knew what was going on? Then when we lost all the police, then it stopped.
Right.
And is it possible to start that again?
Is
it possible?
It is something we can look into.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we can start doing that. I mean, you know, we used to do a little blurb in there, just basically, you know,
It wasn't details,
No,
it was just numbers.
it was just basically,
Just
you know,
like
how
the
many
sheriff's.
arrests,
Yeah.
citation, you know, stuff like that, just to kind of let the public know. So we'll address that.
Okay, and the other thing, the 26,000 or 25,000 or whatever it was for the hotel motel money, does that include the money that maybe was not budgeted at the time to disperse to who was asking for it? Like money that came in or too much money that came in?
No, this is what was,
What
actually
was
put out,
budgeted and
yes,
given out? Okay,
yes.
so you still have money to deal with?
Are you talking about surplus?
Yeah, I think we'll,
Yeah.
I think we
We'll
do.
be addressing that.
Yeah, we'll be
Okay.
addressing that later, but yeah, the money was what was spoken for prior.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, see, I took my minute.
It's 2.5 minutes. now.
See, oh, do I have another half a minute?
All right, anybody else?
Yes. I would like to see if we can get the white lines repainted by 522 by the country inn.
Oh, the crosswalk?
Right,
Yeah.
I mean, there's two signs there that say
I know.
stop for pedestrians in the crosswalk, but they took the crosswalk away.
Yes, they took the crosswalk away because they,
I'm Kevin Pelham.
yeah, they basically have told us if it's not, you know, they didn't put them down. How do I want to put this? They were supposed to have them only at intersections, controlled intersections, they got the flashing light.
Right.
They consented to give these other ones to us, just that.
Right.
I've asked several times,
Well, 'cause like
and
the-
I even talked to a fellow here the other week that is with the Department of Transportation about putting them back up, and he said we'd have to contact. So we're going to have to contact probably our senator and all and see if he can
And
possibly.
what I'd suggest or recommend also is seeing if the DNR, the state park can help. Is that there's a concert in there every Saturday, there's all
that
that more
one-
stuff,
Right.
and everyone parks at the bank and at the church.
Yep.
You know, where-
Yep, absolutely.
And, you know, the controlled walks are, that new one by
Yeah,
Roy's is
yes.
the most dangerous one there is.
Yeah.
I've almost been hit there 3
I
times
agree.
because it's past that curve. A tandem UPS truck ran it and the car behind him was too close, so he ran it.
Right.
And I mean,
Yes,
I'd
I
rather take my
understand that.
chances out in the middle.
Yeah, like I said, we're gonna have to, contact, I've been asked a couple times in the last month or so, so. we need
But I mean,
to-
like if ICE could help, put some heat on, so to
Yeah.
speak, because they're doing the concerts over there.
Right.
the
Well, like I
state
said,
park.
we'll just have to call and say, we've got people wanting to know when you're gonna put them on, back up. I mean, they put the one up there, by the restaurant to cross to go up to the school. They put that one back in, so I don't know why they couldn't put our two at the back. They just basically told us that that's what was gonna get done. So let's see if we
Fix
can
the light,
contact,
too.
contact DOH and see what we can come up with. and go from there.
Just
Yes,
a reminder, Knights, or excuse me, the St. Vincent Paul's already on record with that same one. So just as you're listing the organizations that have requested.
Okay. Thanks, thank you. Anybody else? If not, I'll ask for a common consent to adjourn.